Hello and welcome to the SFM music channel. This is my 8th video in the Hitchhiker's Guide to Music series. If this is the first video you're watching and you're a beginner musician, I highly recommend you starting at the beginning of this series. I'll leave a link here and in the description. This video is going to talk about notation, specifically dotted notes and tied notes. In episode 3 we spoke about note values. While we can achieve a great variety of rhythm with just these notes, we do need to expand on this to be able to understand more complex rhythms. You will frequently see music with a dot drawn after the note head, just like this. The dot affects the length of the note. A dot increases the note value by 50%, so it takes half the value of the note and adds it to it. So a minim or half note, which is normally 2 beats long, with a dot becomes 3 beats long, or the length of 3/4 notes. Here is an example rhythm of a dotted minim. Similarly, if we take a dotted quarter note or crotchet, the crotchet is worth 1 beat, the dot is worth half of that, which is 1/2 of a beat. So a dotted crotchet is worth 1.5 beats. Here is an example rhythm with dotted quarter notes. You can also find double dotted notes. These are easy to understand once you know how they work. They look like this. The only thing you need to know about double dotted notes is the second dot applies to the dot before it and not the note itself. So, a double dotted minim. The minim is worth 2 beats. The first dot is worth half the note. Half a minim is 1 beat. And the second dot is half the dot before it. Half of 1 is a half. So a double dotted minim is 2 plus 1 plus a half, 3.5 beats. Here is an example rhythm with a double dotted minim. You can also have triple dotted notes, although these are quite rare, but they work the very same. It's a dot applied to a dot applied to a dot applied to a note. If you take a bar of 4/4 and triple dot a minim, can you work out what value of note is left in the bar? If you want to work it out yourself, stop the video now before I give the explanation. A minim or half note is worth 2 beats. The first dot, 1, the second dot, a half beat, the third dot, half of that. Add all that together, you get 3 3/4 beats in length. There is 4 crotchets in a 4/4 bar. Take 3 3/4 from that and you have just a quarter beat left, or a semiquaver or a 16th note. Dotted notes are really a kind of shorthand. A dotted crotchet or quarter note is a way of saying a quarter note plus an 8th note. There is another way of writing this that lets you express more complicated rhythms, the tied note. Tied notes are 2 or more notes tied together. They look like this. Basically, a tied note will add the value of the notes together, but will only be played once. So my dotted crotchet or dotted quarter note can also be written like this. Tied notes can do a couple of things that dotted notes cannot. They can tie across bar lines like this, or they can tie long notes together across multiple bars. In summary, a dotted note increases the note it is applied to by half, and ties tie 2 or more notes together but are only played once. So, thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video and you want to continue learning about music, please hit the subscribe and bell button below and feel free to share or comment.